Hi everyone, Mike Stuchiner, Master Herbalist here. And today's video, I will discuss my top 3 herbal formula picks for anxiety and panic issues. But specifically, formulas you can use on an as-need basis versus using them for the long haul. Before we get started, I got 3 disclaimers to give you in today's video. So listen up. Disclaimer number 1 is the information you're about to hear is for educational purposes only and is not intended to treat, prescribe, or diagnose any specific medical condition, and it is not to be used as a substitution for your primary health care provider's diagnosis and treatment plan. Number 2. If you are currently on medication for anxiety, panic issues, depression, or grief, please speak to your healthcare provider before beginning any herbal medicine program to discuss any possible contraindications between herbal medicines and pharmaceuticals. Number 3, the company I'm going to be discussing and the formulas I'm going to be discussing are from the company Gaia Herbs. I want to be 100% clear. I'm not being paid by Gaia Herbs. I'm not an employee of Gaia Herbs. And I am not being sponsored by Gaia Herbs for free product or for any discounts to do these videos. This is me, Michael Stuchiner, Master Herbalist, as an independent Master Herbalist at his own free will discussing Gaia Herbs products. With that said, let's get it on. So, as someone who deals with anxiety and panic attacks myself, I know all too well the feeling of allowing my thoughts to go off into places that trigger that 0 to 100 feeling of anxiety and panic. I also know the long-term effects, both mentally and physically, that come along with panic and anxiety attacks. To be clear, when I speak of that 0 to 100 feeling, I've always felt that from all the people I've spoken to as an herbalist and just as a guy, a dude, about the issue of panic attacks and anxiety, that 0 to 100 feeling, that feels like it happens in a split second, even though it takes quite a bit longer than that, that seems to be that trademark feeling that many people feel when they go through that particular situation. Okay? So I just wanted to clarify what I meant by the 0 to 100 feeling. Before I talk about the herbal formulas, though, I want to drive a really, really important point home. Panic and anxiety issues are not about the end game, because there is no end game. Okay? They are about a work in progress. They are about building resiliency. So each time you go through something, you get better and better and better at it until you understand the best way to handle all aspects of it. Again, there is no end game. This is about making progress, consistent progress. And most importantly, it's about understanding that that progress is going to lead to a higher level of being resilient as you get better at this. There are so many mental and physical tools that you can use on a daily basis. The list just goes on and on. And I mean, a video like this would be 3 hours, if not longer, if we really sat down and dug into all the different types of therapies: talk therapy, havening, hot and cold therapies, cryotherapy, saunas, meditation, deep breathing, exercise. The list just goes on and on and on. But what's really important to understand is these are all tools that can help support your progress and what you should be filling your toolbox up with. But most importantly, what should go into that toolbox is what resonates with you the most, okay? Because if it resonates with you and it's something that you believe in strongly enough, it is going to have the most profound effect on you and on your progress. Okay? So that's why, even though there are so many tools, the reason why there are so many tools that can be put into this toolbox is because you as an individual need to experiment, need to think, need to take the time to feel out what resonates most with you in order to know what's going to go in your personal toolbox. Okay? I'm also really well aware that many of you who are watching this video may not know a lot about herbal medicine. That's why I'm here, to educate you so you can make the best choice for you as an individual. The only thing you'll be required by me to know is the most important thing about yourself. Okay? You need to know the important intrinsic details about yourself and your relationship to panic and anxiety conditions. What causes your panic and anxiety? And have you ever taken the time to observe and reflect once you've been through an episode what may have triggered it? What you went through, how you can make it better the next time. And even if that means cutting a few seconds off of that 0 to 100 feeling. Because I can assure you all of this, when you cut that feeling down by even a second or two, the profound effect it has on the rest of that cascade is absolutely astonishing. So that's why it's really important to know and to take the time and reflect upon what you went through as an individual. Okay? So, let's begin talking about the formulas. While I can't and won't speak for the company Gaia Herbs, in my opinion, as a master herbalist, the 3 formulas I'm about to discuss were made with several goals in mind. First, primarily these 3 products were formulated so they can be used on an as-need basis. That doesn't mean they can't be used on a long-term basis, but the reason they were formulated, in my opinion, to be used on an as-need basis is because you wouldn't necessarily want to use them on a long-term basis, because you want to reserve them for the time that you really need them the most, okay? The second is to have its effectiveness range from slightly cutting the edge off to feeling a sense of overall well-being and that everything will be okay. I just want to quickly skip back to that first reason, which was that they're to be used on an as-need basis. The biggest reason for that is because the profound effect with the onset of these formulas is really quite dramatic. In other words, it doesn't take weeks or even months to feel the true effects of these formulas. All 3 of these formulas, usually within about 30 minutes of taking them, you can begin to feel a positive effect on what you're trying to deal with. Okay? So, formula number 1 is called Melissa Supreme. And I don't want you to worry, you don't gotta write any of this shenanigans down, because underneath this video in the description, I'm gonna put the names of these formulas for you. All right? Because that's what I do, because I'm here to educate you. So the first one is Melissa Supreme. This has the following herbs. It has skullcap, milky oats, passion flower, chamomile, gotu kola, and lemon balm. So let's break this down a little bit for you all, okay? Skullcap is a wonderful herb when it comes to those who respond to stress with that fly off the handle reaction. I mean, really people who get very and anxious and really almost have that hair trigger temper, okay? That's me. The milky oats, to me, is probably the only herb in here that, when used long-term, can have a tremendously profound effect on when we talk about restorative effects, okay? But even though you're going to use a formula like this on an as-need basis, it's really important to have what would be considered a restorative, nourishing tonic for the system that is being most profoundly affected. So the queen of restorative nerve tonics is absolutely milky oats. And that's the reason why that was put in here, for that nourishing restorative effect, okay? The next is passion flower. Now, passion flower, in my opinion, is perhaps the queen or the king, whatever you want to call it, of herbs when you're lying in bed or you're in a situation where your body is quite exhausted, but your mind keeps going and going and going. Passion flower works beautifully to help to turn that mind off. And as we know, anxiety and panic, while it may have profound effects on the body, it's all what's happening in the mind, or the perception of what's happening. Next is chamomile. Now, chamomile is a wonderful mild calmative, okay? It helps to just kind of relax. It helps to take the edge off. It helps to ease you. It's not powerful when it comes to having a strong effect on sleep or anything like that, but it does have that very pleasant cutting the edge feeling, okay? Gotu kola is a necessity in whether it's a short-term or a long-term formula usage. Gotu kola is a beautiful herb when it comes to supporting cerebral circulation. That means circulation in the brain, and it is very specific for helping to calm down red inflamed tissue. Now, when I speak of red inflamed tissue, I'm also speaking of nerve tissue. This can be any type of tissue, skin, it doesn't make a difference. But remember, the goal when you're taking something on an as-need basis isn't just to calm you down, and isn't just to take the edge off. It's also so the long-term negative effects that occur from panic and anxiety can be quellished as well. And that's the reason why Gotu kola is very effective in this formula, and the reason why the milky oats is so effective, okay? The final herb here is lemon balm. Now, lemon balm can be a very effective mood elevator, okay? And give you that sort of that feeling of upliftness and happiness, okay? And during an anxiety and a panic attack, you want something that's going to switch you from panic mode to happy mode. And that's what lemon balm has the ability to do. Lemon balm is also extremely effective when combined with oats and skullcap, especially for that fly off the handle anger, okay? So as you can see, with a formula like Melissa Supreme, it really covers the basis for any potential reasons why anxiety and panic could potentially occur. because I want to remind you, in my last few videos, I specifically discussed the idea that making formulas for the masses is a very difficult thing for an herb company to do when they want it to be really effective for everybody. And that's why these specific herbs and this full range of herbs were put into a formula like this, because there are so many reasons and causes, or I should say potential causes, for anxiety and panic, that this formula really fits the bill, okay? The next formula, and I love the name, it's called Calm ASAP, okay? Again, this has the skullcap, passion flower, chamomile. The next three herbs in here are really, really wonderful herbs as well. So the next herb is called blue vervain. Now, blue vervain is one of the stronger, what you might know as antispasmodics. Okay. Now when we think of spasm, we may think of a tick or being locked up, but spasm can also be considered that 0 to 100 feeling. So that's part of the reason why blue vervain can be a very effective tool in a formula like Calm ASAP when it comes to helping to calm the individual down when they're going through a scenario like panic and anxiety, okay? The next one is holy basil. Now, holy basil is an herb that has some adaptogen-like qualities, but holy basil is actually a tremendous anxiolytic, okay? And supports that feeling, that usage as an anti-anxiety herb, okay? And then the final herb in this is lavender. Now, lavender is a very interesting herb because for any of you who are into something like aromatherapy, lavender is actually the #1 scent that helps to calm people down. So what's really interesting is if you were to open up a bottle of the Calm ASAP, the lavender is the first thing that really hits you. So you can even go as far as to, before you even take your 3 capsules of the Calm ASAP, just take a nice strong whiff of it. And you'll notice that within a matter of seconds, you'll start to feel like, like that mild calming effect. Lavender can be very effective in that way, okay? The third and final formula I want to talk about is from Gaia Herbs, is called Sound Sleep. Now, don't let the name fool you, because while it's an extremely effective sleep formula, the devil is in the details here, okay? Sound Sleep is a 3 capsule formula, meaning 3 of the small liquid caps, about 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime is what's usually instructed, okay? But you could take a formula like Sound Sleep and you can take 1 capsule when you feel the onset of feeling angst or panicky, and it works not as a sleep formula, but it works as a wonderful calming, nerve-nourishing formula. So I'm going to go through what's in this formula as well, okay? So again, it has, once again, much like the Melissa Supreme and the Calm ASAP, has the passion flower, and it has the skullcap. And it also has the blue vervain. But some of the herbs that it also has in here is one of my favorites, kava kava. Now, kava kava works as a tremendous antispasmodic and anxiolytic, okay? Then you have valerian. Now, valerian has this reputation for being a sedative. The truth is, valerian is not what you would consider to be a true sedative. Valerian is actually an antispasmodic and anxiolytic. Now, what do those words mean? Antispasmodic means is that it reduces the onset or the extent of someone who is feeling very tight, very locked up, or who can even be in a full-on spasm, okay? And anxiolytic means that it's anti-anxiety, okay? The next herb that's in here, that's in this formula, that's really effective in this way is California poppy. Now, California poppy is in what's known as an it's a natural pain reliever. It's an analgesic herb is what California poppy is, okay? So again, what makes it effective in the sleep formula is the idea that because people might be, the reason why people might be not sleeping very well is because they're in pain. That's why it's added to this formula. But again, it's a very mild effect, and you may find it to be very helpful when it comes to when being used as a 1 capsule dose throughout the daytime, okay? And then the final one is hops. Now, hops is a true sedative herb. Again, at a dosage of three capsules of this formula, you're going to get a nice dosage of hops. But with taking 1 capsule at a time, okay, it's just going to have that mild calming effect. So this is one of these really unique formulas where it wasn't specifically formulated for anxiety or panic issues, but it is a formula that is very specific to using either A, on an as-need basis, or B, for the long haul, okay? But what makes it, like I said, what makes this formula really effective when you want to use it on an as-need basis for something like anxiety or panic issues is the detail is in the dosage. All you need to do is take 1 capsule of this to have that calming effect rather than something that's going to kind of knock you out and put you to sleep. So those are the 3 formulas that I want to talk about today. If you have any questions or you have any confusion about these formulas, please leave questions below. The other thing I also wanted to mention in this video is that if you have a product from a company or a formula from a company that you would like my opinion on or you would like me to do a review on, please leave in the comments what that formula is and what the product, what the product is, what the formula is, and the company that makes it, so I can do some research to be able to do a proper evaluation and to do a proper breakdown of the formula for you. Okay, guys? So I hope this was an educational video for you. I hope that you give these 3 formulas a try, and I think you'll see great success. Mike Stuchiner, Master Herbalist. See you next time.